on for 1 second. All right. Hello, this is McD the Beast, and this is McD Sports 4 coming to you today with the recap of college football games from tonight and the 3 o'clock hour. I meant to come on at around 6. I got caught up in a lot of things, so unfortunately I had to skip that. But I'm here now. We're going to recap the big game first, and then we're going to recap the Maryland game, and then we'll recap everything else. Before I continue, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate if you do that. Really try and grow the channel. Just go ahead and do that. You will not regret it. We do have a subscriber goal of 500 by the end of the year that I would love to hit. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're new. You will not regret it. So, let's talk about it. The game that just ended, the 3 versus 5 matchup, the defensive matchup, the Georgia Bulldogs scored a lone touchdown, a defensive touchdown, hold Clemson at 3 points, win the game 10-3. You had a lot of defensive games today with in college football. I mean, you had some offense too, obviously, but two top 25 matchups were pure defensive matchups. You had another game in the top 25 where one team balled out and had 2 pick sixes. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit, but let's talk about this Georgia Clemson game. This game was a defensive matchup. I mean, you look at Georgia's defense. In my opinion, this was the best defensive performance ever under Kirby Smart since he's gone there. You look at this defensive line. They finally got to the quarterback. I'm going to see how many sacks they have here in a second, but I believe they had at least 7-8 sacks on DJ Ugly. It's just really, really good defense. They held Clemson to 2 yards rushing. Clemson got held to 2 yards rushing throughout this game. I'm telling you right now, Georgia's defense can play like this consistently. They'll probably win the national championship. Clemson did very good defensively as well. Don't get me wrong. JT Daniels, he 22 for 30, but only 135 in a INT. They held Georgia to 121 yards rushing. Overall, as a team, they really only held Georgia to 250 yards, something like that. So, and Clemson got held to only 180 yards. So this was a defensive struggle. This was an absolute defensive struggle right here. And I mean, I'm happy that I got this game pick correct. I was with Clemson for most of the summer, but I changed my pick to Georgia because I just bought into JT Daniels over DJ Ugly. And it turns out I was right because I did thought he played the better game, JT Daniels there. So, I mean, probably I'm not going to say the biggest win for Kirby Smart because I do think his biggest win is either that SEC championship he got in 2017 or him being Oklahoma in the semi-playoffs. But on terms of regular season, this is the biggest win for Kirby Smart. Georgia's going to be ranked number 2 because we'll talk about Alabama here in a little bit. But, I mean, you can't say enough about this Georgia defensive performance. I mean, this is the best defense I've seen at Georgia since Kirby Smart has been there since 2016. Look at Clemson. I think Clemson, I'm going to be honest with you. I was looking how I'm going to do my polls. I mean, we still have some outstanding games today, and an outstanding game on Sunday and Monday. By the way, a little nugget about that Monday game. Lane Kiffin's not going to be on the sideline because he tested positive for COVID. So I'm hoping DJ Durkin doesn't get the nod to be the interim coach for that game. I hope it's the OC or someone else. I do not want to see DJ Durkin ever coach again in any level of football or really any level of any sport. But that's just a little nugget there. I think they only dropped one spot because, I mean, I think Oklahoma's going to drop to number 5. I was looking at my poll a little bit. This is how I'm thinking. I'm thinking Ohio State probably goes up to 3. You have Clemson drop 1 spot to 4. And then I think Oklahoma drops to 5, maybe even 6. Cincinnati, they won 49-14 over Miami of Ohio. Maybe I could move them up to number 5. You have North Carolina in the top 10 who lost. You have Indiana who lost. Iowa State, good Lord. So if you saw the box score of that game. So I don't. I think Clemson might be in a position because of what happened this week. This might not affect them as much as I thought it was going to affect them. Now, granted, I still think the schedule is pretty weak. Now, I mean, I will say this: Boston College and NC State, I think, are two teams that could definitely compete with Clemson for a half. But I mean, overall, you look at Clemson, the offensive line has to be better. I do believe DJ Ugly will play better. I do believe Clemson will find somewhat of a running game or some reminiscence of a running game. But overall, there. I mean, this offensive line has to be better for Clemson if they really want to win. I mean, they got lucky that their defense played their best game ever that you could possibly think of, and even then, I mean, if you told me any one of these teams were only going to score 10 points, I would have picked the other team to win. So, I mean, but what a game! Exactly what we wanted in a game like that, a top five matchup, a close game, I think, is what everybody wanted, and that's what we got. So 10-3 Georgia, congrats to the Bulldogs. And basically, we'll move on to the next game. So the next game we're going to talk about, absolutely, we're going to talk about this next game here. The Maryland Terps pulled off the minor upset against West Virginia. I would start singing my version of Country Roads, but I'm a terrible singer. Um, but I'm proud of this Maryland Terps team. Part of the reason why I wasn't able to do a post live stream was because people were contacting me about this game, some private people. I will say this about I will say this about Maryland in this West Virginia game. Some people were concerned when we were down 21-20 at halftime. I wasn't. I knew this was going to be a back and forth game. I had the score 34-28. So I actually had, I mean, yeah, 34-28. So I actually had the same point spread that this game ended up being a 6-point Maryland win. But I had a few more points score on both sides. But I did predict the right point score, so I did get that correct. So if you want a real Maryland YouTuber, this is the spot because I told you Maryland was going to win by 6, and they did. Um, but I mean, you look at Maryland. I'll start off with the wide receiver unit. Dante Demas Jr. and Raheem Jarrett. I mean, good lord. I mean, that's just a problem from anybody. I mean, when you're able to have that, when you're able to have two running backs and Taywan Fleet Davis, I could go 18 carries for 123, and you have Isaiah Jacobs for 14 carries for 50 yards. I mean, it's absolutely just ridiculous. I mean, and the thing is, I actually think our passing game is better than the running game. It's usually the running game's better for Maryland. Uh, when we don't have a quarterback that it's not like an NFL type quarterback. I don't think Tola Tagovailoa. I don't think he's going to be playing in the NFL. Maybe arena football, but I mean, he played well today. I mean, he had. I mean, you look at West Virginia. They have 4 turnovers. We won the turnover battle 4-0. Matter of fact, this game probably should have been more of a win than it was instead of just a 6-point win. I mean, but overall, I'm just proud of this Maryland team. I'm proud that we came out, competed, got a huge victory. This is a huge victory for Mike Loxley because he needed to win this game for recruiting purposes. He needed to win this game to show that he had a he was heading in the right direction, which I do believe they are. And you look at Mayo, and next week is Howard. They will win that game. I'm not predicting that game. They will win it. And then the next game's Kent State. Kent State hung around against Texas A&M a little bit this today, so they need to be a little bit careful on that. And then it's at Illinois. Very possible Mayo is 4-0. And matter of fact, I do think they're going to be 4-0 going into Iowa. So I'm pretty happy about this team. Here, I'll look at the schedule real quick to tell you who they had. I believe it's Iowa, Illinois, and then Kent State. So I flipped those 2 games around. But after that, they should be 4-0 going into October on that Friday night game against Iowa. Iowa looked really good today. If they can find a way to beat Iowa at home, they're going to Columbus undefeated. Wow. I mean, and personally, I do think we lose that Iowa game. But I mean, if they could go into Columbus undefeated, watch out because I do think we have two wide receivers and a quarterback. When they're on, they're hard to stop. And when there's running games clicking, it's hard to stop. But let's talk about the rest of these games. Um, I'll talk about the games that are still happening right now. I need a drink down here after this. Anyways, Texas A&M, they're beating Kent State 41-10. As I said, this game was 10-3 at halftime. Kent State hung around this game for a while. They really did. But A&M, they pulled away. They're up 41-10 right now. South Alabama, we picked them to win and covered the 1-point spread. They're going to win 31-7 here. So that's a win in the straight up category and the spread category right there. This UCLA LSU game I have on right now, 30 seconds left in the third quarter. UCLA has the ball on 2nd and 2 here. They're up 24-20 against LSU. They hand the ball off, and they're going to get the first down here. He's still up, but yeah, 5-yard first down game. But as I said, I think it's a back and forth game. I still think LSU comes out on top, finds a way to win the game. UTEP's up against Bethune-Cookman 17-14. Cal, they're up 14-0 against Nevada. Oh no, I picked Nevada to pull off the upset there, so that's not a good sign right there. BYU, they in Arizona, they're tied at 0. BYU is driving down the field here with 3:55 left in the first quarter. New Mexico State, they're up 3-0 on San Diego State. Utah State and Washington State, they're tied at 0. But here are the other games that are happening right now. FAU versus Florida. FAU got a backdoor cover in this one, which kind of upsets me because I did pick Florida to win and cover. I believe Florida was at least a 21-point favorite. I believe I picked that like 24, I believe. So, unfortunately, FAU got a backdoor cover. I saw it was 35-7. I was like, oh, good, I get another winning cover here. But I'll only get the win, not the cover. But good win for Florida. I mean, you look at Florida. Um, I mean, they're a different team than what they were last year. They really were. So offensively, defensively, I guess they did fine. But overall, good win for Florida. UTSA, they beat Illinois 37-30. We did not pick this game. This was a trendy upset pick, though, so it doesn't surprise me that UTSA won. Not a good look for Illinois. Shouldn't be losing to Conference USA teams there. But good win for UTSA going on the road and being a Big Ten team. Whoa, I did not see this. Whoa. Okay. University of Washington will be unranked next week. They lost to Montana 13-7. Wow. Number 20 Washington, they lost to FCS 13-7. Wow, I did not see this coming. Whoa, and I was high on Washington. Well, wow. East Tennessee State versus Vandy. East Tennessee State, they won 23-3. So that tells you where Vandy is. Is Vandy even going to win a game this year? Because at Washington, they'll win a game this year. I believe in Junior League. But is Vandy even going to win a game this year? So, wow. Two Power 5 schools go down to FCSs. Wow. I mean, I thought Vandy was at least going to get this one. I'm stunned by the Washington one. I'm honestly really disappointed in that. Wow. All right, so let's get into the other matchups here. Alabama versus Miami. Alabama, they won 44-13. This game, I mean, if you're a Miami fan, you hope it's just that Alabama is by far the best team of the season. That's what you're hoping for. This defense was not good for Miami. Alabama basically did whatever they wanted throughout this game. 44-13 to win and cover. I had it 41-20. But I mean, Alabama, I mean, my God. It just wasn't fair. Oklahoma versus Tulane. Oklahoma, they survive against Tulane 40-35. They were down 14-7, I believe, Oklahoma at one point. And it was like 40-22, 34-14. And then they let Tulane creep back in that game, get to 40-35. They did get the onside kick, Tulane, as well in this one, but Tulane couldn't do nothing with the ball. Oklahoma did finally make a defensive stand this game. But Oklahoma's going to drop in my poll because I am high on Tulane, but at the same time, Oklahoma should be beating this team by a minimum of 3 touchdowns. So I thought that, and I took Oklahoma to win, and I took them to go ahead and cover. Not a good look for me. We already mentioned the Georgia Clemson game at the top of the video. Final South Alabama, they won 31-7 over Southern Miss. Iowa State, they survived 16-10 over Northern Iowa. Iowa State, they're going to drop. They're hosting game day next week, by the way, Iowa State, but they're going to drop in the rankings as well. I mean, Northern Iowa seems to be a thorn on the side of Iowa State. Wasn't it a few years ago that they went up there and took them in double overtime? So 16-10. Yeah, that's not a good look either. Cincinnati, they took care of business 49-14. I'm highly considering ranking Cincinnati my number 5 team in the poll, by the way. Oregon, they won, but they didn't cover like I said they would. UCLA just broke off a big run here. But 31-24 Oregon, I said they wouldn't cover. They did not. They have a big game next week against Ohio State. Fresno State, pretty good team. It's just that Oregon's more talented, Penn State and Wisconsin, we already spoke about this. This was a defensive struggle, but Penn State, 16-10. Big win for James Franklin. I know I criticized him at times, but big win for him. Good job for him going on the road and getting a big win there. Southern Cal, they went ahead, beat San Jose State 30-7. A little bit surprised San Jose State at least didn't get a backdoor cover here. I did pick San Jose State plus 14 or 15, whatever they were. But good win for Southern Cal. Way to get the win and cover here. It looks like UCLA is looking at least your division. UCLA is definitely going to be a team that's at least going to be competitive with you at minimum. You want to think Arizona State and Utah, they're going to be right there as well. So, I mean, Pac-12 South is looking to be a pretty good race in that division there in the Pac-12. Two other top 25 matchups. Iowa, wow. Absolutely wow by Iowa. 2 pick sixes. They were in control the whole time. I mean, I didn't watch the first 3 minutes of this game because I had Wisconsin and Penn State game on. When I turned onto the screen, first play I saw was the pick six to make it 14-0. So I mean, and Indiana looked like they calmed down a little bit, got to 14-3, but then the second quarter came around. It was 31-3 at halftime. This was just an absolute barn burner of a game for Indiana. I had them ranked in the top 15. I don't know what to think of Indiana. I mean, they have a big game against Cincinnati in a few weeks. If you look at the Big 10 East, they're the only team that lost in the Big 10 East this week. So, wow, just absolutely wow if you're Indiana. I did not expect a score like this in this game at all. And then another game, I did not expect Louisiana going to Texas and lose by 20. I thought that Louisiana will at least cover, even though I'll give Coach Steve Sarkisian credit. He's better than Tom Herman because, in my opinion, I think Tom Herman would have lost this game. That's just my opinion. Give credit to Steve Sarkisian. He got the victory here, 38-18. This game was competitive for pretty competitive for 3.5 quarters. So it's not like Louisiana just absolutely didn't have a playing shot in the game. It was 14-6 at halftime. They got to 21-12. So overall, it's not like Louisiana wasn't competitive, but yeah, they're probably going to be dropping a lot, maybe even out of the top 25, honestly, as a Group of 5 team that's 0-1. I mean, that's going to be pretty hard to justify a 0-1 Group of 5 team in your top 25. Kentucky versus UL Monroe. Kentucky, they got the victory 45-10. Good victory for Kentucky there. They do what they usually do. Got a big victory there. Boston College, they won 51-0. Michigan, they won 47-14. I'll say this about Michigan. A lot of people were kind of saying, oh, they'll struggle against Western Michigan. And I was like, they're going to win and cover here. And I forget if I picked it or not. I'll have to look at my record to see if I picked it or not. UCLA has first and goal with 12:40 left. But this was a really good performance by Michigan. They're facing a Washington team that's coming off a loss against Montana. So this is a really good victory for Michigan. I thought Western Michigan would have maybe scored a little more touchdown UCLA. I thought they would have scored a little bit more, but yeah, great win for Michigan. Rutgers, they hung 61 on Temple. It is bad in Temple right now. Let me just say that it is bad in Temple. 61-14, good win for Rutgers. Did not see that coming. I mean, Rutgers fans, they definitely have a little bit of bragging rights right now. I mean, they don't look like the worst team in the Big Ten by far. Holy Cross, they beat UConn 38-28. Just like his bad Temple is even worse than UConn. Randy SL will be going at the end of the year. Good win for Holy Cross though. See, I already spoke about Kansas State and Stanford. Kansas State they won 24-7. Army, good win for them 43-10. I mean, good job going down to Georgia State and beating them. I already spoke about Nebraska Fordham. Rice and Arkansas. Arkansas they pulled away in the fourth quarter, 21 unanswered, 38-17. They have a big game against Texas next week. If they could find a way to beat Texas, watch out for them. Rice, as I said, I don't think they're going to be doing well in the non-conference, but I do think they will do well in conference play. Rice, I don't think they're a bad team. Air Force, they won 35-14. Marshall, they beat Navy 49-7. I'm going to be honest with you. I just think Navy's going to have a 2-3 win season. They're going to be looking for a new head coach. I don't. I think it's kind of over there. Let's see. Mississippi State, they survive Louisiana Tech. This with a comeback. They were down 31-14 going into the fourth quarter, but they came back and won it. I said Mississippi State will win and cover. I didn't think it was going to be this close, but good job for Mississippi State finding a way to win this game. Louisiana Tech, they are one of the better teams in the conference USA. So good job for Mississippi State finding a way to win this one. Missouri, they went ahead and beat Central Michigan 34-24. That spread was close. I mean, if you look at the spread, it was like Missouri minus 13. I thought that was kind of a oddball spread, but turns out Vegas knew what they were talking about here. I mean, a little bit surprising that this was only a 10-point game, but maybe Central Michigan is one of the better teams in the MAC, if not maybe even the best team in the MAC. I don't know. I'll be honest; it's kind of tough to figure out the MAC. But good win for Missouri here. They have Boston College coming up. Pitt, they beat UMass 51-7. UMass is terrible. Pitt, they get Tennessee next week. We'll see what they do. Wyoming, they survived Montana State 1916. Montana, the state of Montana, their football team showed down ball today. So good win for Wyoming there. I know the way Wyoming plays, I'm not going to blow out anybody. So good win for Wyoming. Liberty, they beat 48. They beat Campbell 48-7. Good win for them. Georgia Southern, they survived against Gardner Rev 30-25. Auburn hung 60, and Brian Harson's debut against Akron 60-10 was your final. They have that game in Happy Valley Week 3. That's going to be a tough game from what I saw today for Auburn. Really for anybody. Let's see, South Carolina, they pitched a 46-0 shutout in Shane Beamer's debut. So good job by these first-year head coaches at these SEC schools getting big-time victories, starting off in the right track. Let's see, Middle Tennessee, they hung 50 on Mammoth, so good win for them. Syracuse, I was a little bit surprised by the score of this one. I was not surprised that Syracuse won. I was surprised that they went out and won by 20. This is a good win for Syracuse. This was a game that I thought Ohio would have won. But give credit to Syracuse. They went ahead, got the victory 29-9. It looks like I did not watch a single snap of this game. Quarterback wise, it looks like you guys are still terrible. But hey, Sean Tucker and even Tommy DeVito, your quarterback, even he scrambled for a little bit in the positive game. You guys ran the ball well against them, so that's if you guys can figure out a running game, definitely could maybe pick off a team or two in the ACC. I'm still not that high on Syracuse, but it's a good win for them to go on the road and be one of the better MAC teams. Score update. A few score updates. Nevada kicked the field goal, get it to 14-3. Cal and UTEP scored a touchdown to go to extend the lead 24-14. And New Mexico State went up 10-0. But a few more games here. and then I'll answer all your questions in the comments. Purdue, they beat Oregon State 30-21. They actually covered. I'm surprised they covered because I was watching this game. I mean, this looked like a grinded out game. It looked like it was going to be early, but give Purdue credit for covering and winning this one. So, good win for man. Hey, oh, good win for them. Going ahead and where are we? Going ahead and winning and covering there. And then you have Texas Tech. They went ahead and beat Houston by 17. I am a little bit surprised Houston gave up 31 in the second half, getting outscored 31-0. That's not good if you're Houston. Oklahoma State and Baylor survived their games. Oklahoma State surviving Missouri State. A little nugget about Missouri State: they do have the former Louisville coach. I'm trying to think of his name. Bobby Petrino. They do have Bobby Petrino as their head coach there, so it does not surprise me Missouri State was at least competitive with them. But good win for Oklahoma State there, I guess. I mean, it should be beating Missouri State by more than that. Baylor, they beat Texas State 29-20. If we would have picked this game, I would have said Texas State plus 14. I was absolutely. I mean, the Bear on ESPN, even though as much as I think, even though he did have a good pick day today. He did get at least 2 out of the 3. I forget the third game, but I would definitely took Texas State. I would definitely took Texas State plus 14 there. But good win for Baylor on the road there. Memphis, they beat Nicholas 42-17. Good win for them. SMU beat Abilene Christian 56-9. Good win for them. Toledo beat Norfolk State 49-10. Good win for them. Arkansas State and Bush Jones debut 40-21 against Central Arkansas. Good win for them. Troy beat Southern 55-3. Good win for them. North Texas went ahead and beat Northwestern State 44-14. Good win for them. Northern Illinois with a comeback. They were up 14-0, blew the 14-0 lead, was down 21-14 with the comeback. 22-21 on the road against Georgia Tech. Good win for them. My God, this was one of the games that you were Georgia Tech that you had win to get to a bowl game. So, yikes. Let's see. Virginia, they put a shutout against William and Mary, 43-0. TCU went ahead and beat Duke Quincy, I believe that's how you pronounce it, 45-3. So, good wins all around. For most of these teams, the good news about a lot of these teams is that they start 1-0. So that's great, and it's going to be a long season. I mean, in week 1. I mean, the season goes through Thanksgiving. So I'll read all of your comments. Just happy the Terps won. I'm happy they won too. I said they were going to win this game, and I was even happy I got the point spread correct. I said 34-28 Raheem. It was 30-24, so scored a little bit less points than what I thought they were going to score, but they won. Our offense was pathetic, only 3 points aggregate. Georgia's defense just had I mean, that was the best defense I've ever seen. Defensive performance from a Georgia team from Kirby Smart I've ever seen. So definitely, definitely, yeah, the offense looked pathetic, but at the same time, I think your offense will be fine at the end if you could find somewhat of a running game because your offensive line is definitely a liability. Montana beats Washington. Yeah, that's stunning. That is absolutely stunning. Miami and UNC not being on Clemson's schedule. Yep, it does. It does. And the thing is, luckily, because of Oklahoma's performance, I actually think this saves Clemson a little bit. But yeah, I mean, if Oklahoma, as long as Iowa State's there, the way Texas played, they look like a top 25 team. Maybe another team would jump off in the Big 12. Maybe Arkansas would maybe even be in top 25 poll once or twice. But if they can get enough quality wins, Oklahoma, they're going to eventually jump over Clemson. But I do think Clemson was saved a little bit by Oklahoma's performance tonight. I think the way Oklahoma performed, I'm seriously considering putting Cincinnati ahead of Oklahoma from what I saw today. To be honest, I think West Virginia would have won a Georgia's resume makes some super scores I've ever seen. Maybe, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I do think I mean, they lost that turnover battle 4-0. That Maryland should have probably won that game by more than 6 points. So maybe you go into something there. Um, that's already out. Ethan the Elk. I'll tell you what time those games are. I know the Iowa State game is the game day game here, but hold on. Week 2. All right. So the 4:30 ABC the 4:30 ABC game is Iowa versus Iowa State. So um and I think the night game is the Washington Michigan game. So it is a flip flop, but overall, looking at this, I'm gonna say from what I saw today, you're getting probably 2 top 25 matchups, give or take. So we'll see what happens. There. Let's see. Will I rank UCLA if they win tonight? I'll think about it. I mean, Washington's going to drop out, obviously. I think I have to drop Louisiana out because I can't justify keeping an 0-1 group of 5 team in there. And I think Miami is going to drop out, losing it. They're in upper 20. Here, I'll get the top 25 pull out. I think I think I'm going to drop them. So maybe. I mean, if they can maybe score another touchdown, make this one a little more convincing. Hold LSU to 20. It's 31-20 right now. Possibly. I mean, I'll have to look at how everything plays out. Here, I'm just looking at my rankings here real quick. But Wisconsin's going to drop, but they're going to stay in the pool. I still think Wisconsin's a top 15 team. A&M is probably going to stay where they're at, probably even move up. North Carolina's probably going to drop out of the top 15. But Virginia Tech's definitely a team I'm thinking about adding. I'm definitely thinking about adding a few other teams as well. But Virginia Tech's definitely a team that I think is going to be in the top 25. I think that you're going to see maybe a few other teams. So maybe UCLA, if they could get a win here. I mean, they blew out a Hawaii team that I don't think is that good. But, hey, they beat 16 LSU, so. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where it looks like it's heading to, honestly, with UConn. I don't think they want to play football. Oh, thanks for letting me know about that. I did not know that. I didn't know about that. Hopefully, he plays next week against whoever they're playing Oklahoma State. But even then, it's just. I mean, that game should still be at minimum like 17 points. Jeff Sims got hurt. Even if he got hurt, that's unacceptable. Northern Illinois was a bad team last year. Um, But I mean, you look at Georgia Tech. That game was one the game circle that you have to win. You have to win if you want to get to a bowl game. So if you're a Georgia Tech fan, I don't think you're getting to a bowl game at this point. I just don't. I mean, you gotta win that game if you're a Georgia Tech. But um, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, but I see 3 teams dropping out of the top 25 most likely. With Washington, they'll getting dropped out. I can't make an argument for Louisiana, so I'll probably have to drop them out. And then I'm probably dropping out Miami. Another team I'm considering is UCF as well. I think about paying UCF in the top 25 as well. They were right outside it. Did you talk about Fresno State? Yeah, I touched on that game. I picked Oregon to win but not cover, and that's what basically happened. It doesn't surprise me that was a 31-24 game at all. I know, God, I can't pronounce his last name. Thibodeaux, whatever his name is, the defensive end, guy injured. Hopefully, he could play against Ohio State. But um, overall, I do think that it was a good win for Oregon against a Fresno State team that I think could definitely compete in the Mountain West. But we have 8.5 minutes left in this UCLA LSU game. If UCLA, I mean, maybe I will put them in the top 25. If they can make this win a little more better than what it is, definitely. You better got that. But looking at teams that are definitely gonna move up, obviously Georgia. I might as well just put number 1 Alabama, number 2 Georgia, in the top 25 here, so I can write it down. I'm thinking probably number 3 Ohio State. I'm thinking number 4 Clemson, and then I'm gonna have to sleep on who I'm paying at 5 and 6 between Oklahoma and Cincinnati, because Iowa State deserves to drop. North Carolina definitely deserves to drop. Cincinnati, they deserve to get moved up. And then you still have Wisconsin, who hasn't. You still have Notre Dame, who hasn't played yet. I mean, it's all a process. I mean, a lot. I mean, you might see I mean, I'm looking at Iowa right now. The way they perform, they might be moving up in the top 10. I mean, Wisconsin, I don't think should drop too much. A&M might be the team that might have to move up to 7. And then at 8, if Notre Dame wins, they'll move up to 9. And then I don't feel comfortable having Oregon in the top 10 as of right now. If LSU finds a way to come back against UCLA, they're going to move up. But yeah, I mean, a lot of teams are going to be moving up and down. Thibodeau, so like the head coach of the Knicks. Okay, okay. Yeah, I didn't know how to pronounce that, so thanks for letting me know that. But basically, just want to hop on here, tell you my thoughts about tonight's game. Uh, I'm going to shut down the stream now. I will do a quick recaps of at least the Sunday game, maybe the Monday game. I don't know. Just once again, I'll remind you all 2 things. The little nugget about Monday's game, Lane Kiffin is not going to be on the sideline because he tested positive for the COVID. And hopefully he's not DJ Dirk as the head coach, the interim head coach, because fuck him. Anyway, but and another note, hit the thumbs up, please subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate if you do that. Really trying to grow the channel. Thanks for doing that. But D the Beast signing off. Go Terps, 1-0. Woohoo. We'll be 2-0 after being Howard. And we have a game against Illinois on Friday night on the road. So can't wait. It's gonna be a huge it was a great week 1. Defense is back. I think that's the main headline with these defensive matchups, and I can't wait. I really can't wait to see what unfolds here. As I already said, I think Clemson was bailed out tonight, despite losing because of Oklahoma's bad performance. So we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. McD the Beast signing off.